Okay, guys, it's 5 p.m. We're gonna go ahead and start our work session. Gonna ask Councilman Fowler to open us up in prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us gather here today and be with us as we make decisions to further this community, this town, and the city we love, God, and be with us as we leave here tonight, God, and everything we do, let us keep you in our minds. In your name we pray. Amen.
So first on the agenda is number 1. It says Hal Bayless, 10110 Birmingham Highway, to discuss his request for a permanent road closure of an unnamed public city road that abuts land owned by petitioner. Programmable Logic Consulting LLC, public hearing required. Shannon? Who's going there? Huh?
He's right over there.
Oh.
You come to the podium here and talk about it for a
Oh,
second.
I'm sorry, I was looking in the back.
Yes, ma'am, we're just requesting Myrtle Avenue in 1954 has been vacated farther back in the area. The front part leads into the, what they call the old chicken plant. And we've got some government funding that requires a title allowance, which uses the property. And when they were doing the searches on the title, I can't get title insurance unless we vacate the remainder of Myrtle Avenue up to Old Birmingham Highway, which most people look at it and it looks like it's been vacated for years, but we're just trying to get title insurance to move forward with the project to inject some jobs and cash into the city.
So, right here, I said utility would request a written easement. Have we gotten that taken care of?
We were sent that in our agenda packet, weren't we?
No, I got what, they requested. Have we got them what they need, is what I'm asking?
I have it right here.
Utility board already has it?
No, they don't already have it. He will sign it over to them.
Okay.
So Shannon, what's the next step in this? So what's the
Set a
next?
public hearing for July 15th.
Okay, and that's all we're gonna do
Yeah.
today? All right. Okay, so we're gonna set.
Not a problem.
Yeah, so we're gonna set the public hearing for, you said July
15.
15th. And you'll just come back then.
Yes, ma'am, you have to.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, Nate Brewer to discuss request to use Marble City Cemetery funds to place a flagpole at the headstone of Bill Nichols to fly an American flag.
As we discussed at the last council meeting, the family and others in our community has requested that this be done. And I think that it's on the agenda to be voted on tonight. We'll use the Marble City Perpetual Care Funds to replace that. That is their money, like Mr. Perryman has stated, that just like the animal shelter, we hold their donations for them. So we'll use that. And I have some names of the Perpetual Care Committee that we would like to add. You know, we talked about restoring that committee. And that's Kim Brewer, Bob Green, Lee Perryman, Martha Payton, and Elaine Mitchell. And I would be the liaison if you guys agree, since that is in the 3rd district and I represent that.
How do we usually go about reestablishing a board or a committee?
Well, from my understanding, if it's reestablished, we just have to reform it.
I know when we did the nuisance and abatement, we appointed somebody from
Each district.
Yeah, from each district.
Now, these
But
members
these
here
people-
are members that were already on the committee.
Or have relatives buried in the cemetery.
That's correct.
Okay, so you're recommending that we appoint these people to get the committee reestablished?
That's
what
it.
you're recommending?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You can't hear me?
Probably me. Sorry.
Oh.
Is that better? Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. Do y'all have any objections to appointing these people to get this committee reestablished?
No,
Who
it's
would-
fine with me.
But who would, is this something that I'm trying to think, let me see it.
Do we have a list of names?
Yeah, it's right here. I'm trying to. So I guess they already have like the bylaws, when they're gonna meet, so on and so forth and things like that, and I guess somebody's just gonna come and report to the council and bring back information.
Well, we've never done it that way, but me being a liaison, I'll be more than happy. They only meet at the call of the chairman. And that is twice a year that I'm familiar with, and they send out their reminders to send donations in for the perpetual care,
So
to the perpetual care.
and once this is back active, you won't be doing these types of things anymore. Somebody, their chairman will.
Correct.
Okay, all right, that makes, here go, Lord.
Thank you.
All right, that makes sense. You have any objections to that?
No.
All right, okay, all right. Next item, Amber Jones to discuss reappointment of municipal judge Taylor Farr, 2-year term from July 18th, 2025 to July 7th, 2027.
As I said, the judge was able to be here tonight. I didn't know if y'all wanted him to speak. But, we're just trying to do this before it expires because he has to be sworn back in, so he'll get with the circuit judge, one of the circuit judges to do the swearing, so we can send it into the state within time.
I don't see an issue with it.
No changes to terms or conditions, just,
Yeah, same condition, terms and conditions. If you have any questions, happy to answer them.
I think you've been serving the city pretty well, Taylor. We're very lucky to have you, and we're glad you're okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the job you do.
Thank you.
All right, next item, Ann Anderson, Accounting Manager, to discuss credit card statements and payments. Hey, Luann, how are you tonight?
Hi, I'm good, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, on the accounts payable list, you'll notice First Bank of Alabama, First National Bank of Omaha, those are 2 credit cards that we have. It was brought to our attention by the accounts payable clerk that there are balances in both of those. The FNBO is over $6,000. We do not have receipts to cover those. What happened is, for the past few years, I believe it's for the past few years, we haven't paid late fees, we haven't paid interest charges, and we haven't paid charges that we did not have a receipt for. So that's built up to these balances. Our AP clerk, Victoria, caught this and brought it to our attention, so we need to rectify that. We need to pay the balance.
So who manages these credit cards? Like, who's responsible for holding them?
Our department holds the credit cards, and if anyone in the city, in the city hall needs to use a credit card, they have to come to our department and check it out.
Do we know who incurred those charges?
No, I have printed out all the transactions going back 3 years, and I'm in the process of analyzing that right now to see what's actually been paid, what hasn't been paid. So, yeah, it's an issue, and going forward, we would like to go ahead and just pay the balance every month, not incur any late charges or any interest at all. If by chance, and we're going to be more strict, for anyone using the card, we need a receipt. Right then, when they bring the card back, they bring a receipt. Or if they purchase online, they print out a receipt. It shouldn't really be an issue. If it is ever an issue, we're going to pay it anyway, and then follow up and figure it out.
Ms. Luann, this is an issue, because we've got some interest that we've got to be paid. Here's what I'd like to know. Are PO being approved before we use the credit card? Are we getting a PO?
Yes, they're supposed to be, and I believe for the most part, Victoria, maybe you can help me with that, but I believe for the most part, they have been. We've had POs for these charges.
Then where's the issue at? I mean, help me understand.
There's just not getting a receipt, or there's some other,
Who gets the invoice?
But you know
the credit card.
who submitted the
Yes.
PO though?
Yeah, AP gets the credit card statement.
But you should know whose receipt is missing if the PO was approved. Because if you have a PO, then you should have a receipt. So you should know who didn't turn in a receipt, right?
Right.
So are you able to see which person didn't turn in their receipt because the PO is missing a receipt?
We should be, yes. And going forward, we absolutely will. I
Who's
can't
the-
speak for, for.
whose name is on this credit card that are being shared?
It was Alex Lambert, and we've had it changed to Shannon's now.
But why are we having people whose names are not on the credit card using a
Use the credit card.
It's for convenience.
That ain't.
normally if it's something that they just didn't plan for, it's something that comes up at the last minute. One of the credit cards, the First Bank of Alabama, is strictly used for travel. So that, that's,
Let's go back a few years. Credit cards were used for going to seminars,
right.
Orange Beach, places like that. They pay for you hotel rooms ahead of time to get the receipts back.
Well, my thing is, if these POs are approved before credit card usage, you can see that there was a transaction at Orange Beach so-and-so hotel.
Right.
You go pull a PO from Orange Beach so-and-so hotel and it's got my name on it, then you know
Right.
that it's my fault for not turning in a
Right.
receipt.
We know
And
who
there
to
you
go
have
back
it.
to. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know exactly what transpired and why we.
This
got
was
to
before your
where we are.
time.
So, but we're gonna fix it. We wanna pay it off, and moving forward, it's not gonna happen anymore.
But then back to Lee's point, everybody shouldn't be using the credit card.
Absolutely.
There should just be one person responsible for putting charges on it.
It would seem that if there's a deposit needed for a hotel, that the city clerk should call and make the deposit using the credit card on behalf of the employee, rather than somebody borrowing a card.
We should do it that way, yes. And just, and that way we have control over it, we can get the receipt right then and there. It's not always that simple, but we're gonna really work on it going forward, so we don't have any more issues.
All right, next item is yours as well, Luann. It says Luann Anderson, Accounting Manager, to request a budget increase on GL 010-586-46595-000, appropriation tele-network of $60,052.44. This is to cover invoices totaling $36,052.44, plus additional funds of $8,000 per month for July through September. So what is this for?
Right, it's for BTEC, used to be Ameritech, now it's BTEC. They do all of our IT service. They do everything. Before I get into this, I just want to give kudos to our VP clerk, because she has done a wonderful job of keeping all of our payables current. I'd say 90% of our payables right now are current, so I just don't like that for that. She's
So-
done a great job.
You said this used to be Ameritech, so I'm
Yes.
assuming they just changed
Yes,
names?
they just changed names, I'm really not sure.
So what happened for us to incur these additional costs? Like, how did we come up short in this line item?
It looks to me like it just wasn't budgeted enough. They budgeted 90,000, and we're running, that's 90,000 for a year. We're running, anywhere from 13 to 20,000 a month. So the 90,000 is 7,500 a month. Just,
Well, we looked at this when we approved the contract and the initial contract, correct?
Yeah.
And we had
Yeah.
enough based off the initial contract in the budget. That's the first thing we looked at.
Yeah, but something else had to have happened to incur these extra charges. Like, did they have to come out and fix something? Did we have to get some additional equipment? Something had to have happened.
it's an ongoing thing.
Is this IT, or does it also include telephone system stuff?
Any adjustments and repairs to the telephone system.
Remember, the telephone system, we never budgeted for this, did we?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what the issue is.
But we did,
That's part of it.
but this happened prior to this fiscal year. So there was a whole bunch of talk about, it not being approved. We didn't get on board with this, we didn't want it, but it was budgeted for in October.
Not for the full amount.
No, it wasn't, not for
We
the,
never told the full amount.
they were supposed to let us know the full amount.
I got, excuse me, I'm probably, the CEO of VTech wrote up a little explanation of everything that they do for us and how we're billed. Some of the highlights are, they help, of course, with any technical issues. They back up all of our data, safeguards to protect systems like email from cyber threats. That's a huge deal. They're always behind the scenes looking out for cyber threats and increasing our security. They also just come out, of course, for day-to-day support. About once a week they're out here.
But let me ask you this, so even since it's a contract, then the monthly cost should be the same. Do you have a printout of what we paid do I have that, a printout of what we paid every month?
Yes.
So I just want to see the monthly statement. Can I see? I just
You
need
want to
to,
fill it?
yeah. I wanna see the monthly statement, because if it's consistent, then that's one thing. If it's the same amount every single month, that's one thing, but if it's different, that's another.
I think part of it is contracted and the other part is like
And that's
as
my
needed.
question, if,
Yeah.
you know, you said they come out once a week, is that part of their contract
I believe that's an
obligation, or is that?
addition. I believe that's an
So we're
addition.
getting charged an
Yeah.
additional, so is somebody
Yeah.
calling them out here?
But from my understanding, what I remember, we get so many hours as a part of the
Yeah,
contract.
I
But
remember.
if it's overage, then you have to pay.
Right.
So that means somebody needs to be keeping up with how many hours are a part of our contract, so we're just not calling them for every little thing.
If that's
Well,
4 hours.
they come out regardless, I believe, one day a week, and they'll come out.
So
for-
in my mind, they're saying, hey, let's come out one day a week to get all our hours up front, and then next time
Everything
something
over that
actually
is
goes wrong,
additional,
it's
yeah.
gonna be extra money charged.
But the key issue, Tiffany, is it says the appropriation was $60,000, and then it refers to invoices of 36, which could be in the appropriation, and then it's asking for another $24,000 at $8,000 a month. So I'm not sure we need to look at that somebody needs to look at that contract.
Yeah, Wayne, can you take a look at that contract? Huh, this is what she gave me, because this is crazy. There's no way.
We got it.
Well, we still need to let Wayne take a look at it. I'm not a.
Did the phones get fixed? Because I know there's been a lot of issues with,
They're still not finished.
is that,
What was the response? She said the
They're
phone-
still not
Phones, no, we're still having problems with the phones.
I get calls a lot from constituents who can't get through to certain departments due to the phones. I wonder if they've been working on those to try to remedy
They
it.
have been, but in my mind, that's a small part of
That doesn't
Yeah.
make
these
sense.
charges.
That was done without our consent and approval. Wendy needs to look at that contract.
I don't think we can approve this, Luann.
Until when looks like?
Yeah. Yeah, cause look at, this is, look at these numbers month to month. This is crazy.
I agree, it don't make sense. I was waiting on Lee to bring it up.
Well,
So what's the status of getting our phones fixed here at City Hall since we are paying all this? Funding
You need
for
this and
phones.
Y'all
contract.
know any status?
You need somebody to send you a contract.
No, Luann, do you have the, I'm pretty sure you don't, do you have the contract printed out with
I
you?
do not, no.
All right, can you get that sent over to Wynn?
Because we're paying for services we're not getting, obviously.
the suggestion that phone and IT services are costing $117,000, that's not, that 171, sorry, that doesn't make sense.
Especially for it not to work either.
Jesus. No, we're paying for more than phones. Yeah, we're
So
gonna
let's
have to,
let Wynn look at it.
and come up with a plan as far as that.
Okay, well, we do have outstanding invoices on the AP list, so
Has someone approved the invoices as being consistent with what was?
Shannon, have you taken a look at them to, make sure they're consistent with what they're doing? Like the invoices are adding up to the amount of hours that they're coming out, or for what they're coming out for?
But a lot of the problem is the phones. They work on the phones at least once a week.
But that should be a problem in itself. If we're paying them for this and we keep having all these problems, you can't install something for somebody.
They didn't install the phones.
Who installed them?
The phones were done by Crescendo, but nobody asked if those phones were gonna work at City Hall. And voice over internet phones in a building this size won't work the way Crescendo installed.
Can we go back to utilities board on the phone
Did the
system?
city ever accept the system? Did somebody sign off accepting the
If
system?
they did, it was before mine and Luann's time.
But y'all, there should still be a paper trail of whether or not that happened.
I'll have to go back and dig through files, because I'm still looking at files.
Well, this is one of those, the council never approved this contract, it was just done. So, I don't know what to do about that. Are we still paying the utilities board for any phone services?
No.
I don't know, you might just have to look into us going back to where we were. I mean, I don't know if they'll have us back.
Well,
Thanks, Lou.
get that, you have that in your packet.
I gave it to,
Mr. Livingston
I know
has
it.
it.
Okay.
But I need to see it on paper. But hold on, Luann, but we, So once you and Shannon go through and make sure that the outstanding invoice match what they've actually been done, then we can get that approved. I mean, because if we owe them, we gotta pay them anyway. We owe them, but I don't think we need to approve anything additional until we actually know what's going on with that contract, and we may need to come up with a better plan. So I know that's adding extra stuff to your plate, but,
My plate's getting bigger.
yeah. All right. Thanks, Luann. But also to make sure that whatever you guys come up with, it still comes before us so we can all decide on which way we wanna go moving forward. All right, next on the, work session agenda is Stephanie Engel, Animal Shelter Manager, to follow up on discussion of pre-rabies exposure, prophylaxis vaccine costs. Did you, where did she go?
There was an item left up here.
She what?
This, she left this.
She left, like, I thought she was here.
She was.
Issues you have to take care of.
But she, when me and you talked, so she did get a price. All right, that's the price.
Okay, today.
Well, this is half of what she said it was gonna be originally.
Now, this is
This
per
per
shot,
vial.
they have to have.
Ah,
at least
for two.
So it's $900 per person.
All right. And how many people we said we're gonna get it?
I
Fine.
think they're-
5? When are they looking to get these administered? Like ASAP, I'm assuming? So do we need to amend her budget? Or are we just gonna do a PO for this? Okay. Is everybody on board? Everybody good with this?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, let me ask you this, so, hold on, you said you get the first one, and then in 7 days, they go back and get the other one? But it says 3 shots here,
Yeah, that's
though.
what I was.
So what's-
This is showing 3.
So,
That's just 3 right here.
Times 3 times 5.
Person.
Yeah, so it's gonna be 3.
so 450 times 3, then times 5. Well, it is what she said, it's more than what she said it was gonna be.
As usual.
Yeah. All right. Next item, update on names for leadership. Sylacauga is Kenneth Palmer and Jane McGee.
I thought Jane McGee already did leadership Sylacauga.
Jane, will this be your first time going, or have you done this before?
Cities now take for me to go to leadership.
That wasn't the answer to the question. If you've already been to leadership, why do we need to find another leadership?
I thought a fireman was going.
That's the 3rd person.
The third person?
Yeah, and I've not got a name from them.
I was out sick last week, so I don't have a name yet, that's why I said.
But
Okay.
there is one, there's a fireman going. There will be a fireman going.
And that comes out of your budgeted training expenses? Okay.
Next item on the, list is Josh Coleman to update council on this is an abatement cases in progress. Josh called me this morning huh? So are we, you talking about, are we gonna,
You're talking about number 7.
Yeah.
you said another name as far as the fireman or another name as far as
Are we doing?
Jane since she's already been?
Yeah. Because when do we have to pay for it? When do we have to send it in, all that good stuff?
Shannon?
Where's the deadline?
What's the deadline on this? I'm sending the money in. I'll have to tell Laura.
Laura.
Ms. Laura, where's the deadline on leadership Sylacauga? Nobody has an answer in the room? August the 1st. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
Thank you.
So are we good with these names or what?
I'm good either way. If you've been through it once, I don't know why you'd go through it twice, but they may offer new material. I mean, whatever y'all think we need to do.
All right.
Well, it's also taking time away from city business that needs to be done for someone who's already had that training.
I agree with that too, sir.
Okay, Josh isn't gonna be here tonight. He had something he had to take care of. So Shannon, let's just move his to next time.
I do have a question for Wynn though, concerning nuisance and abatement.
Hold on, I think, is it gonna be anything that Josh needs to be, privy to?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right, cause I don't wanna, cause I told him I would.
Josh, he may have the same concerns that I have. I don't know. Only question is, what's the status on 8th Street? I mean, we've been talking about this for 5 years, I know of. I'm just a little confused.
On 8th Street.
8th Street. You know where the football field is? You know, you have the scoreboard and that next, right behind the scoreboard is 8th Street.
Is that on the nuisance abatement list?
If it ain't, it needs to be.
Well, I don't have my list, I'm on my wrong file. Well, there's 12 on the nuisance abatement, if you're asking about the current project. There's 12 of them that we're gonna need to set a hearing, or you all are gonna need to set a hearing at the next council meeting, so that I can find what is pending, which is notice to anybody that wants to buy that property, that you don't need to buy it, or else you're gonna come to a hearing, and the house is gonna probably be demolished.
So that means you and Josh gotta get, I know Josh has already sent you some stuff.
Yeah, and I've got all of that prepared,
Yeah.
and.
Just in the meantime, you getting with Josh and setting the time for him to come to your office, sit down and get it fixed, right?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be trying to get on the agenda, and Josh and I both have to, well, he has to agree to have it on the agenda at the next meeting.
Okay.
So I will get with him, yes.
Thank you, sir.
All right, well, Wayne, just get with him because it will be added to the next agenda because there were some things I had asked him to give us an update on, but he couldn't be here today. So Shannon, just move, this one to the next, meeting and probably want to get with Wayne and Josh to see which one of those, action items need a public hearing set so that way we can do it next time. All right, next item, discussion of Civil Service Board Act 428 and job description requirements for employee bonding and procedures.
I can do that if you want.
All right, go ahead.
So there was a flurry of internal administrative email and significant confusion earlier this week about performance bonds for certain classes of employees and liability insurance, which are not the same things. Sylacauga is one of a small number of municipalities in Alabama with a civil service board in lieu of a city personnel board, in our case established by the state legislature 74 years ago on August the 17th, 1951. Section 21 of that law required that the chief of police, assistant chief of police, and all other members of the police department be covered by a bond in the amount of $1,000 each, paid for by the city. Obviously, a $1,000 bond would not protect the city from anything significant at all, not even cost of a phone. And that's a 1951 number, never indexed for inflation. That's not what's in the law. The city maintains various liability insurance policies. A law enforcement liability policy covers all police officers, and elected officials liability policy covers all elected officials in performance of official duties equivalent to an E&O policy. A commercial crime and dishonesty policy covers all employees except the city clerk treasurer position, which is specifically excluded by law. By law, the city clerk treasurer must be bonded separately, notionally more important than others, and that this person handles all tax revenue and all money. Court clerks must also be bonded, and the city maintains supplemental bonds on specific people who sign checks or may handle money, namely the mayor and the council president. But a bond is not the same thing as insurance. A bond is a specific statutory requirement to ensure accountability and ethical conduct, while liability insurance covers claims for negligence or damages. Unfortunately, a simple blanket surety bond would not meet the requirements of the Act, which requires that each person be individually bonded, still paid for by the city. So the city attorney is working with the mayor, the interim city clerk, and the civil service board to determine what next steps are appropriate, because again, a $1,000 bond, even if it's required, is only $1,000, which doesn't cover bad things that could happen if something happened. So the city attorney is leading the charge on that.
So-
We're gonna get together with AMIC, a representative of AMIC, with the mayor and me and whoever else he wants to have at the meeting to try to figure out what coverage we do have. Of course, Shannon will be in there. So we're gonna have a lot more facts after next week than we have right now.
So tell me this, what happens with, because Rondell was made to pay $1,000 out of his pocket to cover him.
You should have never done that.
But
He was directed.
Yeah, but the letter he got told him he had 7 days to do it, so.
If you would have read down there, it said the city would cover this.
So,
The city may have bonds for hundreds of years.
I know it, and also too, and let's not be confused, this act apparently has been in place. Yeah, this act has been in place forever. I mean, I know the last 3 police chiefs that were under my lifetime, none of them were ever bonded. And it's just, you know, now this comes up and then he was made to pay $1,000 out of his pocket. So how does he get his money back? So is it?
We'll have to approve the refund.
The problem is that the mayor sent him a letter telling him he had 7 days to get bonded. So he sought advice, and the advice from the Civil Service Board was a way to meet the requirement is to self-bond by posting $1,000 with the city clerk, which technically meets the requirements of a 74-year-old law, which doesn't really mean anything. So the council can authorize giving that money back, but
Needs to
still,
be added tonight.
but still, we have to deal with that issue because technically there has to be $1,000 bond, even though $1,000 is half an iPhone. So
It has to be cleaned up.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, you've been elected to this municipality for 20 years. How did this get overlooked?
You have to have civil service board brought to our attention.
Oh.
My secretary's been bonded 5 times.
Yes, sir.
There's certain people that have to be bonded.
Yes, sir.
Civil service board informants about law enforcement.
But
This can be cleaned up, and, you know, there's a misunderstanding about the $1,000. The chief should never pay that.
But I
I sent him an email telling his money back.
Yes, sir.
But why did the Civil Service Board bring it up this time? Because what I was told
It's in
is,
their act.
I was told because
Was
one of the
there
Civil
act,
Service Board members got
Number
pissed off.
428.
Hang on, he didn't hear you.
I was told it was because one of the Civil Service Board members got pissed off because we questioned Shannon's ability
Well, I
to be
didn't get
bonded.
that information. I just got notice that they were enacting, act number 428.
I-
Sent the notice out.
Does his job description say must be bondable
Yes.
in that?
Okay,
Is that where it came from?
but so did Kelly Johnson, so did Louis Zook, and so did Chris Carter. None of them were ever bonded, and this never came up with any of them, and probably any of the police chiefs before him.
correct.
Here, let me say what else I need to say, please, without being interrupted if possible. Rondell's been employed with this police department for 30 years. On June the 9th, Rondell had a daughter that died. On June the 11th, Mr. Mayor, he got a letter asking him he had 7 days to be bonded. Help me understand how that's fair.
Well, it wasn't only him, it was all police officers. That's what the act called for, 428, that's what it called for.
Yes, sir, I agree with
There's a
you. But
misunderstanding why he went and put $1,000. He should have never done that. The city would have taken care of that as they have done in the past.
not
The
what-
city clerk usually handled this over the years.
Not what the
Did he
letter
come
said.
to you, Mayor, about it?
Hold on, let's go one at a time.
Here's what I want to do. The council hired Rondell in October. Okay? Rondell hasn't had a fair shake since the man stepped in the big office. He's got candidates in the community. He's got people in City Hall. He's got other people that are giving the man a hard time, and he's just trying to do his job. I don't think this was fair. I don't think this was done right. I'm not blaming you, Mr. Mayor, not all the way. But at the end of the day, the Civil Service Board doesn't tell us how to run this place. You know that because you've actually sat me down when I was elected and you told me that.
Well, I remember when that came up a few years ago, it cost the city about $300,000 to clear it up.
Yes, sir. I agree. They advised, but I agree with you on that. Rondell, I apologize. Council, I make a motion, we add Rondell Muse to the agenda and give him his $1,000 back.
Good.
Yeah, I do think it needs to be added, but Laura, you want to go now?
No, I was just, did he come to you about it, Mayor, with what was going on in
One
his
thing I
life?
got was the act number, and I just put it on.
Okay, so he didn't come directly to you to handle it?
The city's always taking care of that.
The mayor sent the letter, Miss Heath.
I know, I was asking if he came to him afterwards.
Can I say something?
No, sir.
Looks like I got overruled too, Rondell.
No, you can override us because you
Oh,
control
hold
it.
on, Laura, are you done?
No, I just wanted to know if the mayor was contacted that it was an issue, like that he had paid the $1,000 and stuff since he's he's over that part of,
I know, but the letters come from the mayor.
right, but I didn't know if Rondell went to him afterwards after he received it.
No, it's just a notification.
Yeah, that there was, that he was gonna pay that.
$1,000.
Gotcha.
You and I sent him another email and told him to get his money back. That was uncalled for, it was unnecessary.
Right, he shouldn't have had to pay that, yeah.
Shannon, we're gonna have to get an, ad item so that we can refund that money, to him. And Chief, you can say something if you would like.
No, I better not. Thank
Okay.
you, ma'am.
All right.
Can I say one more thing when we add the stuff to the agenda? I think we talked about at the last meeting, Miss Heather is our, election manager. I don't think we added anything for her, we didn't add anything on the agenda, what we was going to give her for her extra pay.
Yeah, for her
We
compensation.
can do that at the next meeting, we've got plenty of time before the.
Do it at the next meeting, okay?
Shannon, make sure that's added on, the next meeting to make sure Heather's compensated for, managing the election. All right, is that it on number 9?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, number 10, update on unauthorized raises being, repaid and rescinded. So Mayor, what's the update on that, on those raises that were given? For those unauthorized raises that were given?
Unauthorized raises, in regards to the unauthorized raises discussed in the May 22nd council meeting, those raises have been found unauthorized at this time. Therefore, those raises have been rescinded or repaid at the current time. The city of Sylacauga is contracting with Warren Averett for a forensic audit of our city accounts. Additionally, the city of Sylacauga is complying with the request made by the State of Alabama Examiners of Public Accounts Office. In the event that neither firm finds evidence of wrongdoing, we will proceed with action at this time.
Okay, Mayor, I wanna go back. You said the city is contracting with who? Because we haven't approved any contracts. And I also wanna make sure I'm clear on this next thing I'm about to say. Because
Well, I think the audit was my decision,
the audit.
even though you requested one as well with the city attorney.
You still can't enter into a contract or an agreement without the council's approval. You can't do that. You're still authorizing money that you're not allowed to authorize. That's the problem. That's the same problem with the raises, and that's the same problem with this contract. And I also want to say
You
this.
approved it ahead of time.
We asked our city attorney to seek someone to do it, not you. We didn't ask you. We asked our city attorney. And the state examiner's office have been contacted, and their own site, on hand, and they've contacted you, Shannon, and myself. I've talked to them. They're gonna do it. You don't have to, have an audit, contractor to do
Well,
it when the
look at
state
the
examiners are
stakeholders.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
But again, you can't enter into any agreements
I
or
think you need to look at
authorize
the
any
state codes. I don't
contracts.
think they agree with you.
Well, who's gonna pay them? Where are you gonna pull the
We
money from?
approved it though, didn't we?
No,
We did not. Maybe we should go back and look at those minutes.
The
We,
minutes say we authorize the city attorney to investigate an
In
audit.
addition, the contract that I've been shown has to be authorized by me and signed, and I have not signed. it.
exactly.
Correct.
So therefore, who's gonna pay for this company that you have hired? We're not, because we didn't authorize it. That's not what we asked to be done. And since the state examiners have been contacted and they're doing an investigation, you don't have to have any auditors to do it. They do this every day, all day for cities and municipalities. So somebody is doing an audit, no matter what information has been given out. There is an audit that's being conducted right now by the state examiner's office.
And no matter what the audit shows, the city council directed that the raises given without city council approval be rescinded immediately. The
And-
raises were given without city council approval, and one raise did not comply with city policy. It is not eligible for a raise.
2 did not comply. It doesn't matter if somebody is meant to get it or they're supposed to get it. It can't be given until it's signed off by the council. It does not matter. Those are the rules, and we have to follow the rules. You can't do that. And also, you can't, this is the thing that keeps happening. We gotta stop playing around these words. When you sit up there and read your letter, you said no raises have been found to be unauthorized. If raises were given without the council's approval, they are unauthorized.
Period, paragraph.
Not approved.
So it's not a matter of who decided whether or not they were
We'll
unauthorized.
go all the way back to all these people who've got educational raises all the way through the time, gonna have to rescind them?
No, it's not the same. The policy says that raises apply, that you can make a recommendation if an employee gets educational benefits which the city did not pay for, and it says a master's degree, a doctorate degree. An employee applying for a second master's degree, that is not compliant with policy. The council did not authorize it, did not entertain the recommendation. The policy, the raise was not given with council approval. Therefore, it is not valid and must be rescinded as ordered by the council on May 22nd.
Alright. So basically, they're still receiving the raises and they haven't been paid back. That's what you're saying. Alright. Next item, Cheryl Mickey to discuss an event she is planning at Noble Park for August 9th, 2025. Hey Cheryl, how you doing tonight? Good.
I'm doing a back to school bash, August the 9th. First, before I, speak on it, I have a question. So my question is, if I'm doing a free event, I talked to Shannon this morning. So if I'm doing a free event and I have one vendor, which is Pelican, why do I have to pay $50 for a hosting? She told me that the $50 was so you guys can make sure that they're licensed. You know they're licensed, that they got a building here on Fort William. I don't understand why I gotta pay $50.
I think it's because it's a, he says it's because it's not a charitable event, but what she's saying is she's not selling or doing anything, she's giving away everything that she's having, and Pelican is gonna come and set up, but Pelican's already has a business license. That's what she's asking, that's gonna be the only person there, Pelicans. So, or let me ask you, is Pelicans gonna be selling, or are you paying Pelicans to be there?
I'm paying.
Okay, that is different, that is different, okay.
So you're paying Pelican
That
for
makes-
what they say?
That makes a difference. Okay, that does make a difference. So they're not gonna sell anything to anybody, right? Okay, that does make a difference. So you shouldn't need it.
Okay.
That's what made the difference. Now, if Pelican had a showed up and they were just selling, then you were technically hosting an event with vendors.
Mhm.
Okay.
So each child will get, basically how it works, each child, when I have the events, everything is free. I have the water slides, the wet and dry, hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, juices, and candy.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what was the, not really deal breaking, but the, yeah, okay. I don't think she needs it, Shannon, right? Okay, that's the difference, but if Pelican is gonna sell something, then you will have to, because you'll be hosting an event with, vendors. But as long as Pelicans isn't selling anything, you're paying them, you're the person that's paying them, that's what makes the difference.
Okay, so, but my question is, even though, what if he was selling something? I still don't see why I would have to pay the $50 if you guys already, I gotta pay $50 for y'all to go in the computer and see if he got a business license.
Because they're selling, they're getting revenue, and it's at your event.
Mhm.
That's what makes the difference.
Mhm.
You're hosting an event, they're gonna be there selling stuff, and they're gonna be getting revenue. Technically, they're gonna get it anyway, but you're paying for it. It's like you're paying for all the food and the stuff. That's the only difference. You're paying them, not everybody else.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
So, but just don't have, like, make sure all these other, vendors show up and try to sell stuff.
I mean, I don't plan on having any vendors, cause I'm gonna have everything they need. They're gonna have the food, the, you know what I'm saying, the drinks and stuff, and then the activities.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
there's no reason for anybody to.
And I guess anybody can come.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's a community event. Basically, it'll be, it's gonna be after school starts back, it'll be the Saturday after school starts back. So all the stuff will be free. I have school supplies and stuff too.
Okay, so
What
you,
time? I didn't see a time on there. I didn't see.
I haven't did the flyer yet.
Alright.
I haven't did the flyer.
Alright.
But,
okay. All right.
Thank you for doing that.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, Margaret Morton to discuss a request to use spot transportation vehicles to transport guests from the Isabel Anderson Comer Museum and Art Center on Earth on June 26, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Is Miss Margaret here? I didn't even see that.
She sent us
She
an
sent us an
email.
And I think she had.
That's fine.
I didn't vote
It's the same thing like
electronically.
the parades.
You know,
and
but she
lights and all
still
that.
usually doesn't miss a,
I think it's
Yeah,
told her okay. I think
at
that's
all.
fine.
Yeah.
You know, Miss Morgan likes to cross her T's and dot her I's. All right, so Shannon, how long will it take for you to get that ad item,
I got a question for Reed before we adjourn.
for Rondell? So he can get his money back? Or do you want us to just write it in and then you just add
Just
it?
write it in and I'll just type it up and then we can get back in the morning.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, I still got
Hey.
it.
Reed, did we get our issue fixed on Spring Street about the asphalt being a little thicker? Did you get that resolved?
That'll be something I'm going to find with this.
I got you, because I rode over by Seventh Place today, and it looks great. And by the way, everybody on Seventh Place loves Reed County, just in case you was wondering. Now, I don't know about those on the other side, but everybody on Seventh Place loves you. Yes, sir, I appreciate it.
Is this your last meeting with us? Before? Okay. Before retirement?
No, it ain't.
Yeah.
Can I finish before we start?
Sorry.
When, you ride by Marble City Cemetery, when you take a look at that back fence, there's one place that's already down, and there's another spot as you go up towards Oakland that's fixing to fall. If you don't mind, appreciate it.
This
I'm
is
done
his last
now.
meeting with us.
I'll pay them some extra.
I know. Reed, thank you for your service to the city. And I hope you enjoy retirement and actually get to retire.
So you've got
All right, hold on.
They still be calling.
That's my dog. You let the
Hold
street
on.
superintendent not be around and see how many phone calls you get. Well, y'all know. I ain't the only one.
So that's all of the old business. On the new business is, action that is necessary to set a public hearing. Comment on a requested road closure. Okay, that's the one we went over, so we are gonna consider that tonight.
Which I made a motion
On what?
and it's a resolution that has to be done.
I know it says on new business, so that means it should be on here, right? Usually the new business, what's to be considered is on this.
It's down here.
Yep.
You can flip the page over.
I know, so what are you talking about?
Before the meeting.
Oh, okay.
We
I
good?
was trying to text rundown.
Oh.
Just always in the.
You thought we had started the meeting? It's okay, it's been a long week and it's only Tuesday. Okay, so the, action to approve the expenditures for the Marble City Cemetery. Marble City Cemetery funds, that's on here. Action that is necessary to approve the reappointment of Judge Farr. All right, number 4,
Yeah, you got it.
we're doing this one.
Because we have to.
All right, and number 5, action that is necessary to approve budget amendment, and this is the one we're holding off on, number 5, right? Okay, what number is it on the,
Which is number 13.
all right, so we're doing the, BOE appointment tonight. I'm assuming AP is accounts payable, Shannon, you just shorted it, okay. So does it includes this payroll and, oh, I had a question about these legal bills, I had this, we got 2. So, did we miss April? I thought we approved some stuff in April, but I guess these are just for when?
Yeah, those are just.
So these weren't included in the ones that we approved, okay, so both of these are wins. We're 2 months behind, okay. All right. And then we got the payroll on here from last time. No, but if we don't approve the payroll, then that means nobody gets paid. We've asked for those, raises to be rescinded and paid back. And we can't punish everybody because people are getting things they shouldn't get. All right, I think that's, what item was number 5 on here?
13.
All right, number 13 is gonna come off, so we're gonna have to amend the agenda.
We also don't have the right format for number 6, which is number 14, because there has to be a nomination.
All right, yeah,
So just ask the council for nomination.
is number which one?
Number 14.
Okay, so we're gonna have to wing number 14. Shannon, it should have been set up to
Yeah.
where, do you have a, I guess you don't have a Alright. Alright, so we're gonna have to do it however many times there's, a recommendation. Alright, so let me write this down. Let me put it over here, so. Action.
I'm gonna ask a question while you're doing that. Mr. Mayor, and since the judge is here, well, you know, we talked about the employee in the, court office. They had to come back and ask for an extension. I said, we got Richardson and County.
Court office.
On here again. Richardson and County Tax Service Employee Lease Pay Period ending May 23rd, 1368. Remember, Civil Service Board says, once you've been here 6 months, you gotta come back and ask for an extension.
I'm not familiar with it.
Sir,
I wasn't planning to ask for extension.
so you're done with,
We're fully staffed right now.
so you're
If I
good?
need it in the future, I'll come ask for it. We don't need it.
Okay, all right, I just saw it last meeting and then I thought we was gonna have an extension.
If we need it, I'll come back and ask for it, but there's we're fully staffed now. We were, I think, 2 people down.
Right, okay. All right, thanks, Joe. At 13.6, so this should be the last payment for May, right?
I assume,
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to talk to staff about it, but I figured if we needed more, I could come whenever we talked about it. But as of right now, I would assume maybe the last time, yes.
Okay.
Alright, I got one more question. Shannon, did Stephanie, was she able to get some more people at the animal shelter since we upped the pay?
On here.
I am not sure yet. I know that the call was put in, and she hasn't told me one way or the other whether she's got anything.
There's, a charge right here for temporary labor for the period of 5/23 animal shelter for smart staffing, temp force on our accounts payable.
I know we had, was there also one of them that you was talking about for the court too?
The only one for the court was at 1368, and then I didn't understand why we were still paying Robbie Hyde, but I saw that we're behind,
But
so.
we shouldn't be, Robbie was caught up.
There was an April.
That was April.
Invoice that just-
Yeah, you're looking at when, we still got Robbie to pay.
But still, we still didn't get, I didn't get that. Did I miss that
Let
one?
me see that. Here you go.
I think it was the last invoice.
And why do you and Robbie look at the same grievance from time to time?
Okay, I didn't get this one.
Please talk about it.
All right,
And we do have conversations on the phone, and if she bills for it, I don't bill for it,
All right, well, help me understand this.
okay?
Why would a city attorney have to look at a termination, not a termination, but somebody that's leaving? Why would they have to look at that
put it
letter?
in my packet.
Because that's part of the
It may be, hang on.
know what's going on in the city.
Yeah, but still, this wasn't in my packet. Where'd you get this from, Ashton?
It was, it was, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't in mine.
I've got Livingston and Hartsville.
So, okay,
I got two wins.
Oh, yeah, I've got two.
I got 2 wins, that's all I have. So this is a $53,185.70 invoice after we said to close that PO for Robbie Hyde. So why do we have a $53,185.70 invoice and that PO is supposed to be closed?
And that's for April, and this is the end of June.
Yeah, and then too, again, like Nate says, we're paying both of y'all to do the same stuff, and she costs 10 times more than you do. I'm not approving this. And it should be a separate line item too.
She's an employment attorney, which she's specific to
Well,
employment
this is also the
issues.
previous balance, so it may be only the $7,000.
Shannon, which one of these is it? Because we should have been caught up. We just approved those, it was 45,000 we approved the last time. So how do we end up with another $53,000 invoice? So how much of this is left over? This is the total amount that's owed. And it doesn't matter what kind of attorney she is. We asked for the PO to be closed. People can't just be out here spending money like it's theirs. I'm sorry, what?
I think that's the total amount that's owed.
And then too,
Do they-
I'm not gonna approve it, but I'm pretty sure she'll still get paid.
Do they have the money on their line to pay that? Because, we had to move some money.
That's a Casey question, but
Well,
How can we, so we don't know if there's the money on the line to approve it?
Is
Luann's got her hand
this
up.
on here?
Luann's got the answer to it.
The 53,000 has already been paid. It was from the budget amendment, that sheet that you approved.
Yeah, the last time. So this is, and so how much is owed? Because there's two balance.
The only thing that's owed is the 7,000 that's on the current accounts payable list.
Okay, so let me ask this, is this PO closed?
There-
Or is it still
there-
open?
Yes, there are no POs outstanding right now for her.
Not, see, it's, we always try to
Yes.
pick and choose which words we want to use. Is
Yeah.
the PO closed? Not, I didn't ask if it was outstanding, is it closed?
It's closed. I mean, every time we get an invoice, we'll have to do another PO. So the 7,000 that's on the accounts payable list, I believe Cassie has to come and request another budget amendment to pay that. Then we'll have a PO for that. So there are no outstanding POs for her right now.
Okay, so let me look, so
So when
which,
we pay it, it closes the PO.
Yes.
but they shouldn't reopen one. Okay, so what number on our agenda is to amend their budget for $7,120? Because that's what should be on this. If that's the case, there should be a line item on here.
We don't have it.
Okay,
I think Cassie still needs to do that.
okay, so do you understand what I'm
We
saying?
need to push that.
Yeah.
But this is in accounts payable, so, or is it
Grouped
just, is this just
together.
But
advising us?
this is the thing, it shouldn't be a part of the accounts payable because it's separate. And that's how all this stuff keeps
Yeah, I
getting.
thought she was gonna come tonight and do that, but I guess it wasn't on the agenda or anything.
So is this a part of the, this is a part of the total for AP? Okay, but that's not how it's been being done. We can't do that. We can't group everything together like that. We can't do that.
You can strike that one item because she's not got the check.
I know it, but if we need a new total. So somebody subtract,
Just minus that
7,100.
All right. We need a new total. Who has a calculator? So this $524,651.18, subtract $7,120 from it.
I have a question, and B-Tech's on here as well.
Actually, it's the 722.
And then,
It's not payroll, it's the top.
did you see B-Tech's on here?
So that's what I'm saying, why did this get grouped there like? But we can,
It's gotta be deducted from the top.
716, 711.
all right, so it looks like we can't approve, so we're gonna have to take this one off.
723, 831,
It's gonna have to come off, because the B-Tech, stuff is in there too.
Ashton did,
So it doesn't, so 16 needs to come off, we're gonna have to get an updated dollar amount on this one, Shannon, so the B-Tech stuff needs to come off, and, this thing for Robbie Hott needs to come off.
Where's VTech on
It's on the, accounts payable list, so everything has been grouped together on the accounts payable list.
I see Verizon, where y'all see VTech
I think it's B.
at? VTech, okay.
there?
Yeah, I see it. It's 19,400.
All right, so 16's gonna come off, so 16's off, 15's off.
How much is that gonna mess up accounts payable between now and the next meeting?
697, 311,
That's gonna set us way behind.
Well, Shannon, y'all want to do the math?
right here.
He's got,
You took everything off, you took the B-Tech off too?
VTech and
VTech.
720, 71.
All right, hold on. 697,000, 311.64 cents. You did the math twice?
mm-hmm.
It's still up there, 697, 311, 64 cents.
With the instruction that those two be removed from the accounts payable draft.
All right, so for voting,
So I see where we're paying for Canon copiers. I thought that was covered with our IT stuff.
We don't have a contract with Canon.
Okay.
what is it? The B-Tech.
And Robbie Hunt. And Alexander Hines.
You taking the Alexander High off?
No, yeah, we took that off. That's the math you did, right?
I didn't take Alexander.
And what is this usage overage
Oh, yeah,
fee?
did, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, did.
So,
Also, for Kronos, what is this usage overage fee for E&L? That,
Not the clock.
That's,
Yes,
yeah,
it's a time clock.
time system.
wonder, well, how are we using?
Overuse.
Yeah, like how are we over?
Maybe if
Will this be a reoccurring fee, or is it just like a one-time?
I guess that's a
Cassie-
Cassie.
Yeah, it's a Cassie question, I think.
Explained it to me, and it's got something to do with putting new people into the system and training people on how to use it. That
Oh, okay.
it counts, yeah, yeah. it's
That makes
like
sense.
swiping your card.
Oh, I had something else too, Shannon. Did, I guess the hospital got reimbursed for that machine, right? Or was that before you? And then also did the airport authority get their allocation?
Yes, we're working on theirs now, and also on a grant that they're doing.
Okay, all right. You can go ahead.
Shannon, was there, am I imagining this, was there a meeting minutes that was not approved at the last meeting that we needed to carry forward to approve at this meeting because something needed to be changed? Or am I misremembering that?
No,
What needed to be changed?
It
There
was,
was something
I
that
thought
had to
so
be changed in
too.
the May 22nd meeting minutes.
Changed them. Y'all afraid those?
I thought we were still we weren't
There was
still
one
a
missing.
meeting behind.
You're behind on the work session minutes.
Yeah, but we're still something behind.
And the date needs to be put in the, last May, or the last meeting we had in June, the date at the bottom wasn't there. Yeah, they had that you was here, it was all messed up. But yeah, we are 2 work session minutes behind. Cause I think we just got, we was 3 and we got it today, I think.
I think there's one in there.
Okay.
Okay.
That needs to be corrected.
I would not be asked to approve it tonight, so.
That means we got it, we got June's in there.
Okay, is that it?
So,
All right, Ashley, you say you need to take 5 minutes?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end the work session unless somebody has something else.
Good evening, council. I came to the last 2 council meetings. The reason I don't come to the council meeting, every meeting, is because a lot of things that are going on in our city.
Hey, Willie, hold on,
Yes, ma'am.
do you wanna address the council and the mayor?
I'm addressing the city as well.
Do it at the end of the meeting so it'll be a part of the minutes. We're finna start the meeting now. Do it at the end of this.
I don't have to go on the record.
Well, we would like for it,
I know, I understand that. I understand being in the council meeting, it's on the record, so forth and so on. I know all that. I've been through this stuff before. But this is something that I feel I need to say
okay.
to you guys, the people in here. How many teachers I have in here? How many preachers I have in here? I go 1, 2, that's 3. I'm ex-police officer. It's 3 people in our society that is held to the highest moral standard in our eyes. That's the preacher, the teacher, and the police. Why is that? It's because we trust them with our most precious commodity. That's our children. Now, I come tonight because it has been a bunch of crap going on in this city. What y'all need to do is take your personal stuff and keep it at your house. What you need to do is be the professional that you voted in to be. Y'all people run around on Facebook. I don't Facebook, I don't TikTok, I don't do none of that. But the simple fact, you can say a bunch of mess in the corner that you won't say in people's face. Y'all need to stop playing these games with the city, these politicians. You need to stop playing these games. Everybody see what's going on. Do your job. Now, Mr. Mayor, I've been knowing you a long time, and I respect you in the dedication, the loyalty, and the service that you have given to this country. But don't you think that you don't have people around you that will lie to you? I'm telling you this. because other people won't. People that have been fired down here, I still don't know why they've been fired. The person counting the money. Now, if you count the money and you get fired, you must be done stole some money. Has anybody went to jail yet? If that person ain't stole no money, it makes me as an ex-law enforcement officer feel that somebody want to get hold to the money to steal some money. Now, we got a problem. And y'all need to do better for the citizens of the city. Y'all can sit back, you can laugh, you can smirk, you can do whatever you want to. But your children are watching. And you run around here fake playing these games. It's a small town. Everybody knows what you say, what you do, because everybody who you with, they your friend while they with you. But when you turn the corner, they gonna tell you business. Huh? If you don't believe it, ask the preacher. Ask the preacher. Huh? Ask the teacher. And you definitely can ask me. I know how people smile in your face. When they need you, you good. When they don't need you, you trash. That attack, the crap that they've been trying to pull against Chief Muse, don't think people ain't watching. I've been knowing Rondell ever since we were 4 years old. I know he's a public servant. He's ex-military. His mother was an ex-school teacher here. He is a good man. But the lies and some of the things that people are trying to do because people are human beings. I don't know of never one person that ever walked the face of this earth has been perfect. And what y'all better understand, there's going to be a time where he's sitting up there and he's going to bring judgment back. Ain't nobody here young. Ain't no such thing as young no more. Be respectful. That's all. Treat people the way you want them to treat you. And do the right thing and quit lying. Because y'all been doing some lying and trickery for a while. And it's not getting better, it's getting worse. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to be on your meetings, your minutes, whatever. Mr. Mayor, understand. It's better to walk off in the sunset while people are glad to see you than to walk off in disgrace. You do not deserve that. You got some people been lying to you. And when you get old, people manipulate you. They play tricks on you. You done been through too much. And I'm saying this because I care about you as a good man. But you better watch the snakes that's around. Because when the dust settles, see, they don't care if you stuck over here. They'll go right on like they didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know he did that. I didn't know he did that. And don't sign nothing unless you get a lawyer to read it for you. Because you got some people around here bringing stuff to you. You probably don't know what you done signed, bro. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Huh?
I hear you.
You go and enjoy the rest of your life and let these folk go. I'm just trying to tell you. Because there's some snakes running around, playing dirty games, wearing different hats, playing like they righteous, and they snakes. And I'm sick and tired of sitting back. Man, let me get out of here. That's when I don't be a politician. Because see, when you click from politician preaching, when you shift from preaching to politician, see, I got to watch you now. Because see, some people come for the check. If you come to do the job for the check, you need to stay home. You do the job for the service. Looking for nothing in return but to help somebody else. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well done.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end our work session.